Guys, it is freezing cold. It's like 19 degrees outside right now. I got my hood on. I got my little mini heater on underneath the desk. And you know what? What better time than right now to do some back trading? And I want to welcome you to what is going to be a recurring segment here on Courage Pays Better Than Fear Trading. And that's where we pick a random ticker, we set it up on the 3-minute chart, and we back trade it. And I teach you some trading along the way. And so here it is, the first little segment, first little snapshot. This is back trading in action from Courage Pays Better Than Fear Trading. Let's jump in right now. All right, so I just randomly picked a ticker here. We're going to take a look at AMZN. I'm going to delete any lines that I have here on this chart. And how I like to do my back trading is I like to make the candlesticks disappear so that I can't see anything. I make it a straight line. I don't know what's going on. I just keep going back and back and back. Some people like to use the calendar feature down below to go to a certain date, but that's too easy. I like to do it the hard way. So I'm scrolling back. And you know what? We'll stop right here. I'm going to come up here, click on my replay button, pull it down right here a little bit into pre-market. And then we're just going to make our lines bigger. And let's take a look at what we have. And so what we're going to do here is just do a little back trading. This is an opportunity for me to work on my day trading skill. That's what we're going to be doing. And so here's what we have. Just taking a look, you know, we can go back to the left and see what's occurred over these past previous days. And we could see that AMZN has been on an uptrend, hit a little bit of a dip here. This is October 31st, 2024, ran up, kind of leveled out, and here we are, a little bit of a dip lower, but we're still sitting pretty high. And let's go ahead and back trade this sucker. Win or lose, let's see if we can make some fake profit and develop our skill in the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is just add some support and resistance lines here that I can use as areas that I need to be aware of. I see we had a little bit of resistance here that may now act as support. Notice that we had this push higher here, but then it did come back down and that area became a little bit of a support. So this is a resistance and a support area that will probably now function as a support. So we have that marked out there. Then we're going to mark these highs as a resistance. And I also see a little bit of a resistance occurring right through here. So I'm going to drop a line in. And so now we have 4 lines on our screen. This line right here in the middle, this is the point of control, or the POC, that is part of the VRVP, the visible range volume profile. So that tells us that there's a lot of orders, a lot of volumes in that particular area. But we have enough lines for us to use here to be able to interpret this chart and do some practice trading. So let's go ahead. So we're in pre-market and we're going to move forward here a little bit. I'm going to wait to get into market open. And before I do that, just check in the low of the previous day, which we're going to mark right here. We'll make this green, and then we're going to mark the high of the previous day, which I believe, I can't really see, I got to check this out, is going to be right here. So we want to make sure that we're only trading non-inside days. So we have to pierce through that high of the previous day, the low of the previous day with a wick. It doesn't have to close above it in order for us to be eligible to trade this. So we're coming up on 9:30. We're below a lot of the moving averages. I'm actually going to hide my 100 and 200 SMAs. And actually, I think I have a 50 on here. We're going to hide that 50. And let's just go through and see what happens. All right. So we're not at market open yet, but we're dipping. We're dipping. We could see that we're oversold here on the RSI. Moving forward. All right. So there's our first candle. So we see a lot of volume come in here that buys up AMZN. You do have a hammerish type candle. We could see the point of control shifted down here to the 208.77 price point. I'm not going to take a trade here yet. I'm going to wait, but we did come down from pre-market. So we got up past above the high of the day from the previous day. We're dropping some nice volume come in, but I want to see some strength and get above some of those moving average before I'd consider a long. And I'm not ready to take a short yet. I want to see a couple candles come in before I do anything. So let's just click to the next candle. We had a big bull move come through there, but notice we got this big long upper wick that came in here, which tells us that there are bears sitting in this area. They rejected the price. This price action closed below that 10 EMA and all those other moving averages. The VWAP is sitting right in the middle there. So we see that the bears are still in play here on this particular ticker on this day. And with the next candle, we come directly below the 10. We break down through the point of control. And really, we close this candle body here from that initial bull candle that we got the push up. We close below the previous candle. And so what theoretically should happen now, because we have these two bulls trapped essentially, is we should see a little bit of a move lower. So let's see if that is in fact what we get with this next candle. And it is. And again, really the concept that we're looking at there is just the bulls being trapped. When they're trapped, they have to sell to get out of the position, which drops the price lower. And that's what happened in that particular instance. So I'm not ready to take a trade yet on this. What I'll do is watch to see if we come lower. And then this old resistance that became a new support. And this is actually the low of the day from the previous day. Maybe we'll look for a long here if we get something for an opportunity. So let's go to the next candle. So we did get a little bit of a bounce and still not ready to take anything here. We did not close above this bear. So this could just be a little bit of a retest before coming lower. And that's exactly what it was. So we did get a nice little bounce here down by the low of the previous day. I'm still not ready to take this yet. I want to wait to see if we could wick a little bit lower. And then if we can hit this resistance here, I would consider taking this back up on a reversal trade. Now we do have a little bit of, well, a lot of volume those that we'd have to work through, lots of moving averages, but there could be a good movement to the upside, but we're going to wait a little bit to see if this comes lower, and bang, we get it. And let's see, we got a little bit of buying based on that lower wick. Now, I'm not going to jump into this trade yet. I want to see a little bit of strength come in. Right now, the bears clearly are in charge. If we just go back and look, we can see that, you know, this whole move was given back. We took out this wick down yesterday, the low of the day yesterday. So we might see some continuation and possibly not see a bounce until we get down to this next level of support. So we're going to wait. We're going to be patient. We're not going to jump into anything just yet. Woo! And thankfully we didn't, because look at that candle that came in. If you would have set up a bullish trade there or would have bought some shares, you'd be feeling pretty crappy right about now. We're almost near that support. So potentially we're going to see a bounce right through here, or excuse me, bounce out of there. We are oversold. So we could set up a play here, but again, I'm going to wait. I want to see a touch of this support just based on my rules, and we got it right there. So now here's what I'm going to do. This is a hammer candle, hammerish candle at the base of a pullback. So I am going to set up a long here, and it's going to be very simple. I'm going to enter right above this candle, and what I'm doing now is just trying to set up where I'm going to place my stop loss and my profit taker. And in this case, I'm going to look for a recent low off of that support, which is going to be down here around 204. And I'm notorious for wide stops. So I'm going to give myself room for this trade to work. I'm going to spread this out. And then we need to go for at least 1.2 to 1.5 risk the reward, see if that's feasible. And it is. And we'll try to come right back up here to the high of the day from the previous day. Let's see if we can get that. All the while, what I'm going to try to do is mitigate risk along the way. All right. And so as we move into the profit, I'll consider taking partial profits and I'll consider moving my stop loss into the money. So let's see what happens. We have our trade set up. Let's get our first candle. All right. So we are wicked into the trade. We're moving sideways. Nothing much doing here. I do need to be on guard of this retesting up into the 10 EMA and then coming lower. So what I might do, since we're in a bit of a short-term downtrend, is move my stop into the money at that point just to protect myself. So let's see what we get next. We're still moving sideways, indecision candle, and bang, we came right down through that support. We actually took out that hammer candle that I got in on this trade. And so what we should see, like we saw right up here, theoretically, is because these bulls who came in and bought this up, because they're trapped, we should see it dip lower. And let's see if that is in fact what we get here. All right, we didn't. All right, so the bulls step back in here. That's good for the bulls. It shows that there are buyers in this area, and they quickly reverse the price. And you can see that we are back at break even. This bear candle that came in here, we closed completely above it, so we should see a push higher. Again, not all the time are we going to see that play out, because nothing works 100% of the time in trading. That's why it's trading. And let's see what we get next. And bang. All right. So now we are profitable by 50 cents, and we are above that 10-day exponential moving average, which is good. That's the first time this happened uh, on this particular day that we're back trading. And if we go to the previous day, we can see that this thing just kind of chopped around. And when it did get above the 10 EMA, it did move a little bit higher. So let's see if we're going to get some more movement upwards. Now, notice we have the VWAP, we have the 20 EMA, we have the 50, we have the 100 and 200 above it. So it still has a lot of work to do to get out of there. So let's see what we get for our next candle. And we're still profitable, although we pushed up, but got rejected off of what was the previous support. So let's see what we get next. All right, we're back down to being in the red. We're losing here, but the point of control acted as a bit of a support here. Let's see if we get a bounce on this next candle. We did not. Now we're coming back down to retest this support right here. We did get a bounce in this area before. Let's see if we get one this time. And slightly little tiny candle, not a lot of volume. You can see that we came off of those lows and being oversold on the RSI. Let's see what we get next. And bang, we are rejected right off at the 10, but we are creeping back higher. Now, notice this big volume node here on the VRVP. There's lots of orders sitting here. So we've just got to keep an eye on whether or not we get rejected here and come lower, or is there enough strength in the bulls to push this higher and to get back into the profit area. Let's see what we get next. And no, again, we're seeing those upper wicks come in. So there's selling pressure above the 10. We haven't been able to push through that to get into the profit. Let's see what we get next. All right, so there we go. We are back to being profitable. We're up a quarter. Now, here's the thing. If you're day trading and you're up 20, 25 cents and you have 1,000 shares, you could say, deuces, I'm out, take your 250 bucks and go fishing. You always have the opportunity or option to do that. And the key, take money off the table as a trader. You don't need to stay in a trade forever. I'm going to take this damn hood off. So now I'm getting hot. All right. So we're good. We're back to being profitable. But what we want to watch is this key area right here where we got rejected the last time. If we can get above that, then eventually, potentially, Amazon can make a run. Let's see what we get next. All right. So we're creeping up. We're creeping up. Let me lock this in here so I can move it around. So we did close above the 20 EMA for the first time. We did not get above this this bear candle. We do have a bit of a double bottom coming into play. Here's the neckline. If we close above that, we should have some pretty good movement to the upside. Let's see what we get next. Rejected off of that 20, but we're still above the 10. Rejected off that 20 again, still above the 10. And back down we come, but we're still profitable by 9 cents, just kind of chugging along. And we're seeing a little bit of a trend line that's coming into play right here that is functioning as a support. If we were to break below that, there may be some concerns about this trades and whether or not it can hang tight. Still profitable, really right on that 10 EMA. We need to get a push. We have to clear above these candles right here, above that neckline, above that previous support and that previous low of the day. Can we get it? We're still just kind of moving sideways. We're up by 2 cents. What do we get next? All right, we're up by 11 cents. And I'm going to let this play through a couple candles here. And let's see what happens. All right, just kind of chopping around, chopping around, chopping around, chopping around. chopping, 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 chopping. All right, I'm just going to let it play. And whenever, all right, so now is a key time because we came down, we retested a support, and we're retesting this low that was made earlier in the day. So what we want to watch to see is if it does come back down into that price area, the bulls will need to come in to step in to push us higher. And if they don't, then we need to be on guard to consider risk management. And what I mean by that is moving our stop to take a smaller loss in the event that this is going to play out against us. We are not going to move our stop until we have bullish candles. So we're not moving our stops based off of fear. So let's continue to let this play. Let's see what happens. And here we go. All right, we're just kind of chopping. We're chopping. It's coming down. So we're at that price point. And all right, the bulls came in. Can they hold it? Can they push it back up? Can they keep it going? Can they keep it going? We're back down into it. That is not good. We keep retesting that support. We're moving sideways. We broke below it. We got some bull candles that came in here. This thing looks like it's just grinding lower. And let me pause it right there. So really, this thing is just moving sideways. We're at about 1:48 p.m. during the day. And, at this point too, you can make the decision, hey, I've been in this trade long enough. I'm just going to exit it. It's choppy. It looks like it's in a bearish trend. It's going to continue to go down. You could do that. You can make that call at any time. This last candle that we got gave us a little bit of hope. We had some decent volume come in. We had this bull candle come in. We got above the 50 for the first time today. But again, these are the areas that we're going to need to clear out if this thing is going to have any push. Because we had a strong bull candle like that, I am going to move my stop to make this a smaller loss in the event that we get more selling. So I'm going to put new stop loss here. So we're just taking risk off the table, which is what you want to do if you want to stay in the game of trading. So let's keep going from here. And what do we got? There we go. Just kind of moving sideways. We're still above the 10. We're above the 50. Back down, retesting the 10. Now retesting the 20. Now retesting the point of control. We're back down below that. What's coming in next? We're still moving sideways. Just as sideways action. Sideways action. All right, I'm going to wait for the next bull candle, which I got here. And again, I'm just going to move this stop loss just to be protective. So again, I'm putting it below this bull candle right here. Again, we're just taking risk off the table here. That's the name of the game. And then we're going to keep going. Let's see what we get. We're bouncing off the point of control. Sideways. Man, this is a boring trade, but this is the reality. Some trades are going to be boring, right? And again, this is a back trading exercise. All right, so let me drag this over to 4 o'clock at market close. So this thing is getting close to the close. We're going to take a little bit more risk off the table. We're going to come right below this bullish candle right here. It's almost a hammerish candle. And let's see what we get for the rest of the day. All right. And we're pushing. We're pushing. And are we going to finish profitable? No. All right. So, we did. So we rode this out to the last candle, 357. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a 10-cent win, but a win is a win. So we'll take our 10 cents times 1,000 shares. This is a $100 win. And you can see just a whole lot of chop sideways action. And we didn't come away with anything, but we did not lose any money. And what I would do here at this point is manually exit the trade, cancel my stop loss and profit taker, and move on about my merry way. And proceed to the next day, because here's the reality. Sometimes you're going to have trades like this where they do a whole lot of nothing. But again, the whole purpose of back trading is just to refine your skill, get exposed to different patterns in the market, how they play out, and then to think through and practice what you would actually do in that situation. And that's really what I'm trying to drive home and provide to you in these videos. And so here's what I'll do. Let's just play this out through post market and see what happens. And we could speed this up. And whole lot of nothing, whole lot of sideways. So I hope you got something out of this first episode of back trading here. Courage pays better than fear trading. A lot of fun for me to do it. I just got some practice, worked on my skill. It's one of those choppy days. But again, I strongly encourage you, if you are a trader, you have to practice, you have to back trade. That's the only way that you're going to get better. And so guess what? I feel warmed up now, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And please let me know in the comments, is there a ticker that you want me to back trade? I will gladly do it for you. And until the next time, in the meantime, in between time, have a phenomenal day. Take care, everyone.